Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the mystery man and the JFK assassination. Now, the reason why I said a mystery man and a JFK assassination is because there had to have been somebody else there on street level to get everybody to concentrate and look at the Texas School Book Depository. Now, when I do my research, okay, I have to look at it from all angles and look outside the box as well, as everybody knows that. And as I point out in my videos and stuff like that, when the distraction shots were taken, people was actually trying to run and get under cover, and when other people sees them running, they're going to run as well. They don't know shots are being taken around their locations, but it's called reaction. One person starts off a reaction and it follows and follows and follows, as everybody knows that. You could stick a person in a room and they start reacting one way, and the next thing you know, a bunch of people start reacting the same way as well. So that's why I said when I look at the JFK assassination, and it makes me wonder, why was they concentrating mainly on the Texas School Book Depository? Because there had to have been somebody down at ground level on a corner of Houston and Elm to say, hey, the gunman was right up there. Okay. And then when one person hears that, they're going to say the gunman was up here and the gunman was up here as well in the Texas School Book Depository, because of the pure simple fact is people, a lot of you read the testimonies, okay? If you read the testimonies, a lot of them says they heard the shots, but they didn't see where it came from in a lot of testimonies. But then when you hear the testimonies again, told by the people, they said, well, I heard the shots and I seen the shots coming from the Texas School Book Depository, okay? That's because it takes one person to start reacting and say, hey, shots came from there. Next person that's next to him say, hey, the shots came from up there. And another person that's around them say, hey, the shots came from up there, to get everybody looking that direction. And this is what I'm talking about. There had to have been somebody there. So when I was viewing the film, I was looking at this as well, and I was taking consideration. And when I was watching much more film and a couple other films and stuff like that, I noticed a man and a woman was running, and it was heading, on the other side of Pellet Gold, which I'm going to show you frames from the Zapruder film that shows you they're running, okay, because it's only a little glimpse, like about 4 or 5 frames, you can see them running and running down the steps, and then they're out of, view, okay. But in the Zapruder film, I noticed, okay, that these same 2 individuals came running around and hid behind a small tree there, which I'm going to show you now. As you see right here, okay, if you watch my cursor, here's a frame from the Zapruder film. This is frame 95 of the Zapruder film, okay. What I did was I took the frames and I lightened them up and took a lot of darkness out of it and stuff, so we can get more of a clearer version and stuff like that. And added, brighten up the colors, took out a lot of the shadows into it and everything else, so we can actually view the frames a lot better. Okay, but here's a Zapruder film. This is frame 95. Watch my cursor. See my cursor right over here? Okay, there ain't nobody there. There's nobody there whatsoever. And you see there's less people here. This is, again, I'm going to point out as well, that's the reason why when I watched the Zapruder film, okay, there had been a long gap in between frame 132 and 133, a long time period, because by the time we see in frame 132, as we see these motorcycle riders and stuff, like these cops on these motorcycles, excuse me, and then we see JFK's limo, but his limo is already right around in this location here, and you have a lot more people here, and a lot of people's looking this way and everything else. So that's why I said there was actually a big gap in between those frames, because he was turning his film around, as I pointed out, when Zapruder was filming. He turned his film around and started filming the assassination on side B. But anyway, oops, let's go back. Let's go back to this frame here. Sorry about that. As you notice over here, you see this tree. But when we start seeing his assassination, these are the stairway right here. The stairs is right here that I've seen in the other films, where they come running down and run around this way, and they stand right behind here. Now watch. Now we're going into frame, this is frame 193. Now as you see, there's a lady right here, and there's a man right here, but they're hiding behind the brush. Now, okay, if they're there to see JFK, okay, why are they hiding behind a brush? Okay, why are they hiding behind a brush? That's what always gets me when I watch this, because they came down off the steps and run around and ran right to this location here and stand right here while JFK's limo was going by and everything else. I never did understand why they did that. Then, as you see here we see the man standing right here. He's a tall man. We got a short woman right here. There's one of her legs. There's the other leg, and she's wearing a dress. Okay, and the other man's very tall. He's standing higher than this pillar, than this wall right here, from the ground level up. Okay, now this might be the mystery man I'm talking about to get people to look up to the 6th floor Texas School Book Depository. Because remember, after assassination, people saying, well, why did everybody rush? Why did police officers and everything else rush to the Texas School Book Depository? Not because people seen where the shots were, it's because people said they seen the gunman right up there in the Texas School Book Depository, which, if you, like I said, when you watch and you read over the testimonies, a lot of them says they heard the shots but didn't know where it came from. It had to been a point that day where someone had to pinpoint that location for other people to start looking up at that location. And that's why when the police officers and stuff after assassination start running to the Texas School Book Depository, because they said the gunman was up there in the Texas School Book Depository on the 6th floor. Okay, that's why I sit there and said that the Carcano rifle they found was a decoy rifle. Okay, because we know this is the location that they was pointing at for the sniper's nest. Okay, and when they got there, they found the bullet casings and everything else. And then they started searching around. And they found a Carcano rifle over by the steps and everything else. It was placed there. And this is another thing that I want to bring into it as well. This is the reason why I said, if you don't even believe Oswald took 2 shots that day, okay, say Oswald didn't take those shots. Let's look at that for a moment. Say Oswald did not take no shots from this location here that day. All right, he's still involved in the assassination. And here's the reason why I say this. Because he ordered a Carcano rifle. He placed a Carcano rifle in its location. He brought that rifle in there that morning. He placed all this up here. Even if he set up dummy bullets right here, he put that evidence in that location for them to find. The bag over here for them to find. The Carcano rifle for them to find. Okay, he's still done all of that. No matter which way you want to look at it or anything else, Oswald still was a part of assassination. Whether he took any shots, and even if he didn't take shots that day, like I said, he is still part of the assassination because he's the one that set up the sniper's nest. He's the one that set up the Carcano rifle in its location. He's the one that ordered that Carcano rifle. He even set up the dummy bullets if he did want no shots there. So you have to look at it from all angles, no matter which way you look at it. Oswald was there to also set up the sniper's nest. So it could be the mystery man made sure that people goes to that 6th floor Texas School Book Depository. Oswald's job maybe was to set up the fake sniper's nest, but I know he took 2 shots that day, but we're going to look outside the box, like I said. He took 2 shots a day, but we're not going to look at the 2 shots now. He was to set up the decoy rifle in this location. He was to set up the bullets and everything else in the sniper's nest. And then you have your mystery man down on the street saying, hey, the assassin's up there. So everybody could rush to there, and then when they get to that location, they'll find the Carcano rifle and everything else. So they don't have to worry about looking in other buildings, because at the first part of the assassination, after assassination, saying that when it first started, nobody knew where the shots came from. All they heard was shots. Okay, they didn't know what location was because people's down at ground level. They're not going to look around in locations or nothing like that. Look up at the building when President Kennedy's going by. They didn't come there to look at the buildings. They came there to look at President Kennedy. So that's why no one was looking there until there had been a man to point up to that window. Okay, that was your mystery man to point up that window. The first man to point up that window was the mystery man that made people's attention to go to the Texas School Book Depository, because if there wasn't nobody there on ground level as a mystery man, if he was not there, they would have went through the Texas School Book Depository. They would have went through the Dow Tex building. They would have went through the Records building and all them buildings around in that location, whether it's a jailhouse or whatever. They would have went to them locations to find out where these shots came from. But with somebody being down at the corner of Elm and Houston, when the shots start raining out and stuff like that, all he's got to do is say, the assassin's up there on the 6th floor in this building right here. That's when all the cops and everything else start going to that building. And then when they found that fake, that so-called, if they want to put it that way, as a fake sniper's nest, and a rifle and stuff like that. Okay, we found the assassin's sniper's nest. We found the assassin's rifle. Okay, so no, we don't have to look into other buildings or any other surroundings, okay, because we found where the location came from, where the shots came from, okay, because of that evidence was placed there. Okay, that's why I sit there and said there's a lot of things you have to look at when it comes to the assassination of JFK. So we know Oswald was in that location because the image of him was taken, and here it is, the Dillard image. And people can say all they want, they can say it's been altered or anything else, but this is Oswald. No matter which way you look at it, this is Oswald looking out this window. And as I point out in my research, he stayed over in this location and placed a rifle up in the box above here, behind this brick level here. He placed the rifle up in there and then, went and took the elevator downstairs. So at this point, okay, we know there was a gunman on the second floor of County Records Building by photographic evidence, and one on the rooftop of County Records Building, and then the Oswald sniper's nest. And then we know there was 2 gunmen right here on shelter number 3 down on Pelagora area right here by the grassy knoll. We know this for a fact by photographic evidence. But, at that time, there had been a mystery man standing on this corner here to get everybody to pay attention just this building only, and not to pay attention to this building or this building over here or this building here, or even down here at the shelter. They had to have a mystery man that says, hey, the assassin's up here. I seen the rifle sticking out. So now all the police officers and stuff is going to run in here, because yes, you have people running up here, like I said, it's a reaction that people go through. Congestion's finally breaking up. But anyway, like I said, you already have people running up the grassy knoll area here. Their reaction was, the first part of the people that's running up there was running up there to get out of cover of the line of fire. Other people started following in their footsteps because they think they're going after the assassin, so we're going to run up the grassy knoll here. Okay, that came in play years after the fact, okay, years after the assassination. At the beginning, during the time of the assassination, they was trying to get out of the line of fire, okay. This is why no one hardly sees their testimonies, okay, because there is some testimonies that's written where people is getting out of the line of fire. That's the reason why they was running up that direction, okay, but they're not going to present this, and they're not going to show this, okay. This is evidence that's going to be hidden from people. But as everybody knows, I don't hide the truth, I give the truth, okay, I tell the truth. But they had to have a mystery man down here to get everybody looking at this location here and look at the 6th floor Texas School Book Depository. So when the officers and everything goes in there, then they're going to say, okay, they found a sniper rifle over here. They found a sniper's nest over here. So, okay, the sniper was up in this location here. So they won't bother looking in the County Records Building or the Daltex Building or the shelter anywhere down here or anywhere else. They won't be looking anywhere else because they figured at that point in time, at that time of assassination, okay, they already had the sniper's rifle, sniper's location, eyewitnesses pointing up to this location of a sniper being fired in there, because anybody in their right mind, when shots are being fired, they should have been able to look at the County Records Building. But what had to have somebody down here to direct people from away from looking at this building. So no, the shots came from here. I seen an assassin right up here. So they had to have that mystery man on the corner of Houston and Elm. Okay, I wanted to give this information out as well because, like I said, what made me call this mystery man is by thinking outside the box, thinking of the location, because there's 13 shots fired. Okay, there had to been a mystery man in this location here to get people's direction to look up here, because you got two gunmen in the County Records Building. You got one on the second floor, one on the rooftop. Okay, and you got 2 gunmen down here taking shots. Okay, to get these distraction shots and stuff like that, but to get these people to pay attention to the Texas School Book Depository, there had to have been somebody down here to start that trend of saying the assassin was on the 6th floor Texas School Book Depository, and have everybody start looking in this direction instead of looking in this direction or looking down here. Okay, so the only way they could do that is have a mystery man here when the shots start. When the shots start ringing out, he's to point up there to the 6th floor Texas School Book Depository. So that day there, not only the assassins is there, and like I said, it was very well planned. The assassination of JFK is a very well planned thing, and they had to go through days or probably a couple weeks going around that location, figuring out where they want to set up at, or where they're going to place certain people and stuff, because it's very well planned the way this whole thing organized. You had Oswald setting up a decoy rifle and setting up the snipers and that stuff. You have your mystery man out there to direct people's attention away from there by pointing up at the Texas School Book Depository. You have your assassins there taking distraction shots to get people run up the hillside there to get the assassins that was inside of shelter number 3 out without knowing it. So it's very well planned when they did the assassination. So that day, there had been a mystery man on the corner of Houston and Elm Street to get people's direction to get people's minds off of different locations and have them directly thinking that the assassin was only in Texas School Book Depository on the 6th floor. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this video so other people know this information. In the JFK assassination, there had been a mystery man on the street corner of Houston and Elm on the corner there. Thank you, and you have a pleasant day.